forego the music and we will just jump right in. We invite anyone up. I would love to just read their names so you could just kind of consider who's coming up. Ellen Hodel, Hallie Bandy, Ian Tompkins, Isaac Gilly, Bella Pierce, J.C. Trigg, just of those students. We also have students that aren't necessarily a part of our church family, but are certainly a part of our youth group. And so we're so thankful for them as well. Yeah, exactly, you're right. So I think of Caroline. This one's a little bit harder for me than previous years in that I feel like this is my last senior class because Jordan's starting June 1st as the youth pastor for our youth group. I won't belabor the point. Blaine, if you could start us off.
I am not Blaine, by the way. But I am introducing Blaine. My name is Ian Tompkins, and I've known Blaine since childhood, but we never really got to know each other well until middle school. We started talking more and hanging out more, and I started inviting him over for sleepovers, and we would play video games and hang out and talk.
I'd like to say thank you to Jax, Josiah, and Porter. These are some guys that also go to my school, so it's been cool to have people that not only go to my school, but go to my youth group and just see me in more than one place. But I'm also just really thankful for Ian. He's been my best friend since forever, and it's always been fun to hang out with him, go get McDonald's, or just do whatever. And also get beat by him in tennis, but that's okay. But I would just also like to thank Camo and just the ministry over at UIS. A lot of the guys and just people there have really helped me grow just this past year. I really felt like I was a part of some sort of family, and as well with the youth group. The youth group has also been a great family to me. But also I'd just like to thank Micah Moran. Just over this past year, he's really helped me just grow and be intentional with my time in the Word, and he's just helped me grow. So, I guess that's it. So, thank you.
Next up is Cullen Hodel. And I think one of the funniest things that he asked me as we were preparing for this was, do I get my own 4 minutes or do I have to split it with my brother? And I told him, no, you're your own person, you get your own 4 minutes.
Growing up with a twin, you'd share everything, so who can blame me? Good evening, church. My name is Cullen Hodel. I've been going to this church my whole life, so you more than likely know who I am already. But if you don't, you might have seen me with my nose in a book in the youth room, or awkwardly standing behind one of my siblings as they finish talking with their friends. That's really been my whole life up until now. I've always been surrounded by words, my family, and my awkwardness. For a very long time, I felt like an outsider, like I could never say the right things. For so long, I always felt like my words fell flat. But recently, by God's grace, I have matured. My tongue no longer slips as often, and my words are sharp and to the point, which will be a huge help in my next chapter. My plans for after high school aren't anything too grandiose. I'll be attending Lincoln Land Community College in the fall, and will be pursuing a degree in creative writing. However, even though I am staying home, that doesn't mean that life doesn't go on. Again, my siblings have been around me my whole life, always willing to give me a ride, or a hug, or even just talk if need be. But now, study out, shoulder every burden. And because I will have you, the church, to help guide me through every step. Before I finish, I would just like to take a few moments to thank some wonderful people in my life. First of all, my family. for always encouraging me, my friends in the youth for always being able to talk to me, and the leaders and sponsors in the youth group, like Edwin, Jordan, and Connor, for helping me grow in the Word and always being willing to lend an ear or a shoulder when I needed it. These next few years will be a trial by fire for certain, but if it is God's will, I am confident that I will leave this fiery furnace as not a piece of molten slag, but rather a refined ingot of iron that may be sharpened into a point to be used for His will. Thank you.
Edwin asked me a couple seconds ago if I could come up and introduce Hallie, and I said anybody but Hallie. So it's Hallie Bandy is our next senior up. So Hallie, whoever's introducing you, which is Sam apparently.
Hi, I'm introducing Hallie, and I'm her cousin. Same age, and so I've lived with her. So many memories of just her, and so I'm gonna start off. I have a little bit of saying. She actually told me to introduce her at like 3:30 today, so this just she's really good at planning things, if you haven't noticed. All right, so she's probably the closest thing to having to anyone, to strangers. So beware if you hang out with her. You will just have to go talk to strangers with her. She loves it. I'm just really happy because I'm actually going to the same school as her. I won't spoil her plans or anything. We aren't rooming together, but probably for the best. But we'll be pretty close to each other. I'll have good, we'll have good times there. I've already had good times with her in the past, hanging at our grandparents' house with just Jax, me, Hallie, and Chris, which is our cousins there, and just plenty of memories of us just being in the same room sleeping, and then the boys trying to mess with us, stuff like that. We never sleep. If it's just Hallie and I, we are never sleeping. We just talk then.
Okay. Hello, my name is Lee, and Edwin Tevez. And Jordan too, I guess, because he introduced me. But for helping me grow in my faith. Next year I plan to attend Illinois State University, just like Samantha said already, and major in elementary education. Before this year I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was a teacher assistant for 3rd grade, and that helped me decide what I wanted to do because of how sweet the kids were. Okay. Edwin, do I drop the mic now?
All right, well, things are already eventful. Is kind of acting up, so that's why I had to step out of the room. We're still recording it, so we'll try to figure out how to make it all work well. Ian, is Blaine speaking for you? Oh, perfect symmetry.
So as Edwin said, I am not Ian. So I decided to, so he asked me to do this introduction for him, so I wrote, when Ian asked me to do his speech, I started to think about important or funny memories. One I'd like to share is at one of Ian's birthday parties. It was in the spring or summer, and I believe we were in 2nd grade or so. My parents told me that after church there was a birthday party for Ian. At Sunday school, I wished him a happy birthday, trying to be nice. Birthday! I believe I told him then about the party, and later on I figured out it was not his actual birthday, but he did have a birthday party. A surprise birthday party. His parents planned one for him at the Henson Robinson Zoo, which would make more sense to have in the spring or summer instead of winter, which is when Ian's birthday is. I think it's in February. Is it the 19th? Yes, I got that one right. However, Ian did not shun me for this, and we've been friends for quite some time now. There's a lot more memories, whether it's working out at Planet Fitness with him, getting McDonald's or ramen and spending the night at his house, playing basketball with him and Micah Moran, him scaring me half to death while playing video games, or even watching the Ohio State Buckeyes win the national championship this year. I will truly miss Ian while we both go off to college, and I hope it's God's will for us to stay in contact in the future. Thank you.
Side. Bella has many sides. All right, so where do we begin with Bella? Well, first of all, we didn't know that there was even going to be a Bella. You see, Christy and I we needed some medical help to even get pregnant with Luke. So the doctors told us that if we're going to have a second child, we might need that kind of help again. But as it turned out, the doctors were wrong. God had other plans. And 19 months later, there was Bella. She was quiet for the first 8 hours of her life. And I turned to Christy and I said, I think you've got a good one here. Then she woke up. And for the night, to church. See, we knew we needed God's word and we needed a church family. And God used our little screamer to bring us back home. But you don't have to be around Bella very long to realize that she's been blessed with many talents. God has blessed her in many ways. Probably the first talent that we noticed was her ability to throw. Once she was old enough for us to turn around her car seat, everything in the car was open season. The windshield, the dashboard, the back of my head. She had quite the arm. And I thought, she's going to be a Division I softball pitcher one day, right? One day she's in the back seat with her grandparents, and she decides to open up an umbrella. And she pushes her grandfather into the steering wheel. He's trapped between the umbrella and the steering wheel. He's flailing his arms just to maintain control of the car. She's always kind of been a backseat terrorist. Even to this day, just ask your brother. But beyond the chaos and the backseat terrorism, God's blessed her with a loving, giving heart. If she loves you, she will work hard to take care of you and make sure that you're happy. There are a number of you here that have helped her to develop this Christ-like heart. I know I could spend half the evening thanking so many people, but we'll thank just a few. Christy and I would be forever grateful for Heather and of course Garrett for coming up alongside of her and mentoring her for all these years. Thank you to Connor and Jessica. You've been like an older brother or sister to her. You're very special to us. Thank you to Hannah for showing her what it looks like to be a biblical wife and mother. And Edwin, thank you for teaching her how to serve as a musician in the church and, well, calling her out when she needed it, even when she didn't really want it. All of you walked beside her in more ways than I could possibly mention. Even during the challenging parts of her life when she was diagnosed with scoliosis at 10 and then had to wear a brace around her torso until just a couple of years ago when she had surgery. But today we're celebrating her graduating from cosmetology school. Although she started getting ready for this day a long time ago. She started cutting hair at a very early age. Her own. At age 4. It didn't go well. Again, at age 6, not good. Then at age 7 and at 11, not good. But recently, many of you have sat in her chair, and I think we can all agree she has come a long way with a pair of scissors. Well, before I go on too much longer, I think I've already blown through 4 minutes. Sorry about that. Let me introduce you to Belle. Around our house, Christy calls her Little Peanut. So we're so proud of our beautiful, talented Little Peanut. Here's one.
You stole a lot of people that I was gonna thank. Okay, well, as my dad said, this thing is really loud. Sorry. My name is Bella. I am 17 years old, and for the past 10 months, I have been going to University of Spa and Cosmetology Arts. And as of today, I have officially graduated high school and cosmetology school with my license in cosmetology. I want to thank my church, Diane, for teaching me the word each week. Thank you to Edwin for showing me my love for guitar and be with me for the past 3 years and for being an amazing model for a Christian woman. I want to thank my dad and my brother for always supporting me and making me laugh when I needed it. But the most important person I want to thank is my mom. She is the reason I am pursuing cosmetology, and she has been working 2 jobs for the past 10 months to help me get through school. She is truly the most amazing person and the most important person in my life. Some ways that you can be praying for me is just starting my new job and just trying to be a light there. I wrote a really rough speech, and so that's what I got, so thank you.
Next up is JC. And something fun about JC is that when you get to talk to her, it's always an experience because you say something and it's like an epiphany every time. It's a lot of fun. She's such a joy. She's such a sweetheart. If you've not had a chance to talk to JC, I would encourage you to do that. JC? What? Oh no.
Alrighty, so last night we were at the table trying to figure out who was going to talk for JC. We settled on both of us. So I wanted to start off by introducing ourselves. I'm Olivia, and this is Alana, for those of you who don't know. I assume most of you do. We are JC's sisters, and we have had the privilege to call JC our best friend for 14 plus years. And there are so many things that I could talk about for JC, but one of the things I really wanted to touch on was her smile. Just talking with her, passing in the halls, you can just see how much her smile is just radiating. She has so much confidence, and she's just such a sweet and joyful person, and that is one of the things me and Alana love and admire about her most.
Another thing we love about JC is her heart for God. It has been so amazing and such a blessing to watch her grow into the godly woman she is today. We could not be more proud of her. If you know JC, then you know that at least once a day she says Maranatha. She's just so excited for Jesus to come again, and her excitement is infectious. We love her so much, and we're so proud of you.
So I asked them not to make me cry, and just like little sisters, they did the opposite. Family, you guys are so sweet and so precious to me. I've been blessed to be here the majority of my life, and I can see the way that various ministries here have worked in my life. Sunday school, VBS, and youth group have all played a vital role in my spiritual growth. Specifically in youth group, Edwin, Tavis, and Lorenzo have always made sure to make the youth group events a fun and amazing time, and always made me want to come back to the next one. Brian and Jordan have been more than willing to answer all of my questions, which I am very grateful for because there were a lot of them. And I'm beyond grateful to the women in the youth group who have been such wonderful role models in my life and have poured so selflessly into the young women in the youth group. I think of Jessica, Taylor, and Hannah, who have always made me feel included and loved. Hannah, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for putting in so much extra time to put together a Bible study that really helped me focus on being a godly woman. And I am so very blessed to have so many others in this church who have been such a sweet support to me. I couldn't name you all, but you know who you are, and I'm very grateful to you. This church is truly a family to me. I am also so grateful and blessed to have my parents who have been incredibly supportive of me. They have been my cheerleaders as well as my teachers. I literally could not have graduated without them. They homeschooled me, so. Without them and their sacrifices, I would not be standing before you today as a graduate, and I will be forever grateful to them for that. But most importantly, I will be grateful to them in the way that they have trained me in the way of the Word and the Lord. I'm also extremely grateful to my sisters for being a huge support in my life and my greatest of friends. There's not a single memory I have that doesn't include them. I am further blessed and grateful for the encouraging words and love from my aunts and uncles and my great-grandmother, who has been a steadfast example of a Christian-like woman, from my Nana and Papa and my grandma and grandpa, who have invested time in teaching me skills like shooting, baking, cooking, fishing, sewing, and always encouraging me in the Lord and my various interests. Without them, there are many opportunities I couldn't have done, and I'm very grateful to them for that. But most of all, I want to thank the Lord who made all of these things possible and saw fit to bless me with so many people who are loving, godly examples in my life. As for my future plans, I will be sticking around, so you won't be rid of me yet. I will continue my education at Lincoln Land and earn my associates in business administration. Out of school, I look forward to serving the church and being a part of the ministries that meant so much in my life. If you would like to pray for me, I would really appreciate prayers that I would have the self-discipline to balance school and work along with ministry opportunities and maybe fit in a social life if I can. And also that the Lord would make known to me very clearly what His will is for me and that He would give me the strength and desire to follow Him. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and I look forward to celebrating with you all.
All right, next up is Josiah Anderson. And Bethany's going to come give a word or two. Come on up. With Josiah, one thing that I appreciate about him is whenever I've needed him to step up, he just does it. And I've really appreciated that.
Hello, my name is Bethany. Unfortunately for you guys, I'm not nervous. So, love this stuff. When Josiah asked me to speak, I was initially a little shocked because usually our relationship is like me just like talking a lot and then him saying that everything I say is dumb. But I guess he was just joking. I don't know. When he told me, when he asked me to do the speech, I knew immediately that I wanted to rhyme. I don't know, it just popped up in my head. But like the first thing that came up was like, yo, you're my bro. Your name is Joe. So, I commissioned my sister. We'll get back to the rhyming later. Okay, so I'm going to give you a somewhat trite description of Josiah because, of course, people are complex. You can't explain them all at once. But I have decided that my characteristics that I'm going to describe him are all going to start with CA. Okay, so first of all, caring. The reason I know Josiah is caring is because he's cared for me. He has cared for me when we were younger. I remember when I was like a little kid, he would like get in my bed on Sunday mornings and like wake me up. And he was just like all so sweet and nice. And I was a teenager, but even as a teenager, okay, I may cry in my room a lot, okay? He always comes and checks on me. So he's a very caring person. And he doesn't just care for me. He cares for my sisters who have had kids. My sister Abigail has been through a really rough time in the past years. She's got a kid that screams a lot like Bella, so there's hope. There's hope for my nephew. And Josiah has gone out there, and Abigail said he just went out there, and he said, hey, what do you need from me? And she's like, let's go on a walk. And he went on a walk with her. He cares for his nieces and his nephew. He's just a very caring person. And I've also seen him care for his friends through his desire to lead them to what is right. And I'm very thankful for that. Josiah is also casual. Like, if there's anything that Josiah is, it's casual, okay? He wore jeans to his graduation ceremony. He, like, casually made honors all-state choir for, like, 3 years in a row. And he also, like, scored the high. Casual about it. I don't know. And then when he was young, he casually hiked the Grand Canyon, like, 13 miles in slides, okay? He casually, like, travels the world with my parents. And I, like, tell everyone about it, but he's just, like, casually goes to Africa, I talk about, okay, anyways. And then he's also casually the favorite child. Way too casual, right? And if there's anything I'm not, it's casual. So we're quite the duo. Like, for example, I really wanted surgery for my shoulder because I've had issues. Couldn't get surgery. They just told me to do physical therapy instead. Josiah goes and breaks his finger, casually doesn't mention it to my mom for like a month, and then casually goes to the doctor, and then they told him he needed surgery. And he casually had surgery. I don't know. Whatever. He can also be a little capricious, but we won't have a whole section on that. We won't talk about that. Anyways, Josiah, you are a kind brother. And I've watched you be a good friend and sometimes a good son, and also a great uncle and a faithful church member who leads music even when you're not necessarily excited to do it. And as you go off to college, my prayer for you is that while you're casual about doing things really well, it's very obnoxious, I pray that you would be the opposite. about your relationship with God and how you pursue it. I pray that you would love God with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul and with all the strength that you have, because you just casually have a lot of it. We go to the gym together. It's very frustrating. And while you're already caring for so many, I pray that you, as Paul prayed, that you would continue to abound more and more for your love for those around you and also for God. Okay, so now back to the poem. I commissioned my sister, but she's the one with the screaming son. So I didn't get anything. I was so disappointed. So I just kept it on my level. And roses are red, violets are blue. I'm so blessed to have a brother like you.
Hey guys, that's my sister. Not embarrassed at all. I love her. I've lived with her for a year now, and it's been really nice, a lot of fun. I wanted to thank my family first. I've got a lot of family, so I won't say them all, but they've all played a key role in my life. I'm very thankful for everything they've done, and I want to thank Jordan, especially from the church, because he's discipled me, and we've grown to be really close friends, and he's led me in a lot of Bible knowledge. And I want to thank the church. Whoever came, I had great conversations with everyone, and just they all seemed to love me so much, so I'm thankful for that. This last school year and the year before, I've come to realize my real friends are here at the church, so I'm very thankful for them as well. As I've been at school, I'm with them, but I'm not having fun or having a good time. So I'm thankful for all of my friends here in the youth group. I will be going to Appalachian Bible College with Rachel to make sure she does good. And yeah, and don't forget to save big money at Menards. I work there.
All right, well, next up, we have a newer member to our church body, but also to our youth group, Lauren Fox. Oh, and someone's coming up for her.
Good evening. Most of you probably don't know who I am. My name is Justin Fox. I'm the older brother. My family and I joined SVC just a few weeks ago. And in light of that, I don't know half of you half as well as I would like. And I like less than half of you half as much as you deserve. See J.R. Tolkien. But tonight I have the genuine pleasure to introduce the most gorgeous female in existence, who just so happens to be that little lady right there. She is a metastasizing cancer to this world's warped ideology of women and their roles. God permitting, she will be the mother of many children, raising her sons to be warriors that refuse to be ruled by women and children, building strong cultures that reflect the kingdom of God, and daughters that will forsake feminism in its entirety, embracing their role as homemakers and culture shapers. And may all her children drink the victor's cup, surrounded by a mighty host of one mind and accord, and together proclaim, all glory be to Christ our King. My sister, Lauren.
I'm going to try to pull it together after that. Well, hi. As my brother said, we are new members to the church. However, I've actually been attending Wednesday night youth group for about 3.5 to 4 years now. So the people that know me know exactly what I'm about to say and have their own ideas of how it's going to happen. I would encourage you later to ask Jessica and Contrell over there, about the best idea that I've heard so far. I'm graduating from the Academy of Home Education based in Greenville, South Carolina. I've been homeschooling from kindergarten to 12th grade, which has been rewarding and challenging. I'm so grateful to my parents who put in all the work to make it happen and for their strong shoulders to cry on during the torture I had to face with Algebra 2. My brother already hinted about this, but the desire that God has put on my heart is to be a wife and a mother. A desire that's been growing since I was little and has solidified over the past 2 years through my schooling and personal study of God's role for women and worldly feminism's effect on it. I do not plan on attending college, but hope to get a nanny job and use the church to further my education as a homemaker.
I cannot wait to start raising up the next generation in Christ and want to be prepared to do it well. So I'd appreciate y'all's prayers as I follow God and pursue the burden he has given me for motherhood and family. Please pray that I would stay consistent in my relationship with God as I seek to build my homemaking skills in pursuit of a godly family. Thank you.
Next up is Megan, Miss Megan Starr, and I guess Priscilla's going to introduce her.
Hi. Okay. Today I'm honored to celebrate my friend Megan, who has been a blessing not only to our family, but also our church. Since she joined our church back in 2021, Megan has radiated so much joy and kindness and a deep love for God. Her faith and infectious enthusiasm has inspired me. But perhaps most remarkable is her commitment to consistently bring a friend into our church. And I love how hard she loves others and her desire to spread the good news of Jesus. She's so thoughtful, and she is the kindness if you ever need a friend. I'm deeply grateful for Megan and her involvement not only in my life, but in my girls' life. She's just such a friend to them. And I look forward to her continual impact of faith and friendship as she stays home this fall. Come on over.
Hey, I'm Meg. Thank you for Priscilla for your kind words. I really appreciate it. To start off, I fortunately was raised in a Christian family who made going to church Sunday mornings a huge priority in our lives. And I'm very thankful for my parents helping me grow in my faith for that. Although I really remember giving my life to Christ one summer at camp. All the campers sat around the campfire one night and sang hymns, but this one hymn stuck out to me. It was the lyrics, "Jesus paid it all to him I owe." That line was so simple, yet it shaped my entire thought process as an 8-year-old girl. At the time and still now, 10 years later. He paid it all, and I owe it all to him. That night, I prayed and gave my life to Christ. I was baptized a few years later, and ironically started coming here during COVID. I remember walking in feeling so welcome, but it also was really strange seeing only the top of people's faces and going off that for a while. But I could still feel the genuine smiles and genuine love for Christ under those, and just throughout this church. For the past 5-ish years, my family and I have been here, and I feel as though I have grown so much in knowledge and wisdom from the teaching, friendships, prayers, events, and so much more. And I would specifically like to thank a couple people. Thank you to my parents for loving me continuously and raising me to love Christ, have a Christ-centered education, and give me opportunities by sacrificing yourselves to help me grow. Thank you to my siblings for making life more fun. Thank you to Madeline and her husband Adam for being my beloved second parents and giving me the cutest nieces and nephew. Thank you to Timbo and his wife Olivia for protecting me and caring about me while adding so much laughter into our family. And thank you to my little baby brother Ike for coming on random side quests, correcting me graciously when I need it, and sending me all the "how does it feel to have the absolute legend of a brother" Instagram reels. I also want to thank Pastor Gary and Marcia. Thank you for leading our church with true biblical wisdom and the love you have for our church. I want to thank Brian and Priscilla. Thank you for opening your hearts and your home to the youth group. And thank you for loving me, caring about me, and providing for the youth group. One of my favorite memories was late night talks at the Gillies. Thank you to our elders who have cared for our church, protected it, prayed, and provided faithfully for just Southern View in general. Thank you to our interns and their wives who have helped with the youth group, making it enjoyable and helping just our church in general. For Lorenzo and Hannah, Jordan and Karina, Taylor and Tavis, Brooke and Cody, Jessica and Connor, and Edwin and Carla. And I would like to specifically thank Edwin for helping me learn something in a way I can glorify God. Guitar has been fun. And being a coach to me when I need it. And thank you to the past generations of the youth group for being the older ones and including me. It's encouraging, especially now, to see you all come home and be excited to see you. And thank you to the current youth group for growing up together and sharing some of the best years of our lives together. As I was looking through pictures for my board tonight, I happened to pass some of the earliest memories here at Southern View, and it was amazing. It's just amazing to see how much the Lord has provided by helping us grow, but also in the way He helped some of the boys find some scissors, because I'm so thankful there is no more fluffy hair phase in our youth group anymore. I'm serious. Like, you would walk into the youth room on a Wednesday night, it was just a sea of mopped, crazy, greasy, unbrushed, broccoli-shaped hair. But thank you again for the overall memories. And just thank you to all of you who have prayed for me or encouraged me in my time here. I mentioned the story of my testimony earlier to hopefully tie this all together. And that is that I wouldn't be here without the Lord's faithfulness in my life. I'm constantly reminded of that when I'm around a campfire, singing the hymn, Jesus Paid It All, or just this church in general, and the many ways it has provided me. I really owe it all to Him. This fall, Lord willing, I plan to stay here, take some prereqs or general studies to hopefully one day be in an occupational therapy assistant program. That is roughly a 2-year program, and after that, if I love it, transfer to a bigger school and get the whole OT. So, but I'm really thankful for where the Lord has me now, and it's here with a church that I love, and a school that'll work out for the time being. But I would really appreciate prayers for college, and that I would just continue to want to glorify God in every stage of life. But thank you all for taking time to be here tonight and loving me. Thanks.
Next up, she's already graced us with her presence up here. She kind of hinted as to where she's going, but Jax is going to kind of launch us off before Samantha takes over.
Hey everyone, okay, I'm gonna start this over. Hey everyone, I got the blessing to introduce my favorite senior. If you don't know me, I'm Jax Bandy, also known as Samantha's little brother. I've known Samantha since I was born, obviously, and she's been one of my best friends since. We might fight a lot, but she's always been giving me advice on school, supporting me in countless things, and looking at me and telling me, "Go change your outfit, that does not match." And usually she's right, sometimes. When I got asked to do this, I wanted to do a slideshow of my favorite pictures of Samantha, but she quickly turned that down. You guys would have loved it, but she might have not. I was told I needed to keep this under 1 minute, so I'm trying to be fast. But all I'm just trying to say is my sister is a great person and a okay artist. I'm joking. She's a good artist. So you can go talk to her and check on her art. She'll always love that. She's not leaving yet, but when she does, her room is becoming mine. It's going to be my second room. She knows that. Thank you.
I'd like to start off that room is still mine. Actually, most of my art stuff will be in there, so he cannot take it. But I would like to say I am Samantha Bandy, and I've been going here my entire life. Most people do call me Sam, but we have Brian Gilly over there that just says Sam Antha. So just for the record, he does say that. So best of both worlds. I will be going to Illinois State University, and I'm going to be studying math education to get my bachelor's, so I can teach math at a high school level. I'm hopefully going to be able to do it in 3 years, actually. So with credit, I'm going to take a couple Lincoln Land classes over the summer. Yeah, so I just really want to be a teacher because I've realized how much I love just like able to teach like things that I know, just like in art and math, my favorite subjects. And I decided with math because actually with a math education degree you can teach art in Illinois. So hopefully I get to do both, well, one or the other, but I get to choose later. So that's because I can't choose. I'd just like to start with thanking my mom. My mom has raised Jax and I so well, just being with an only parent, and it's just been very, just a blessing for her. But then I'd just like to thank my mom and papa being at her side, especially my papa who comes to every single track meet, or just when I did play basketball, he was there. Any art thing, he's there. Music thing, anything that I'm doing, he's there, and it's just been a blessing for him to be there, even when my mom's working. It's been a blessing. I'd just like to thank all the sponsors of the youth group, but especially Taylor Lawson, wherever she's at. There you go. She started it was her and Brooke German. They started a little Bible study during the summer last year for the girls that are usually busy with sports and just school in general, because it can be busy, and I'm glad I'm done. So, but I'm just glad she's there. And then we did start a little Bible study ourselves with that when we weren't as busy. And she's just been a blessing because she's just always taking care, just asking how I am. And then I also like to thank Jordan and Karina over there. I just loved coming over to their house for watching Harry Potter, and then he made butterbeer, and that was actually really good. Not gonna lie, I just didn't know it was gonna be good. He does a really good job with that. Thank Edwin as well, and just thank the whole church community, and especially the youth group, because for a while it's just being at school, the friends are not, they're just not Christians at school sometimes, so it's hard to be friends. And for a while during junior high, at least, I did not have good friends. So just to be with the youth group, it was just a great blessing, and just growing up with them. And I'm gonna just thank Hallie, because Jax is pointing at her and I forgot to thank her. And Jax. Just everyone. I've just been a blessing. And I'd just like to thank Caroline Nichols as well, because Caroline has been at my side since she started coming here in 2020 with the youth group. Caroline has been across the country with me, different states. We've been across the country, across the world, because we went to Germany together. And she's just been there to check on me and to keep me humble. So there we go.
Next up is Mr. Timothy Sampson. Tim. Oh, and Mr. Quinton's going to say something about him.
Hello, guys. I hate speaking in front of people, so I'm nervous. But I'd like to congratulate Tim on graduating. And Tim's been such a great friend over the last, I don't know how many years. But it's been a while, and I want to thank Tim for being such a great friend. And thanks for all the conversations that we get to have, and just the time that we get together. But I want to continue with Tim as a great friendship that we have, and that he can continue with just the life that he's done with the church and with everybody, and that he can move straight forward on his next chapter in life. And here's Tim.
Thank you, Quentin, for that. Such a blessing. My name's Timothy Sampson. I've been going to SVC for about 5 years now. I started going during COVID. That's a coincidence. It's been such a blessing being part of the youth group and how I've grown in my faith over the years. Growing up, going to the VBS here at the church, and now being able to serve in that. The Shy Kid joined the youth group for the first time, now being outspoken in my faith, opinions, and beliefs. True teaching does matter. I'm so thankful for coming here for the first time. I wasn't really growing in my faith at my other church because I wasn't really getting anything out of it. And I came here for the first time and heard Pastor Brian speak. I could tell there was a difference at this church. God's word was being open and taught, and there was no sugarcoating. And I was being trained in the word of God and seeing my knowledge grow and increase. And how to study the Bible is a big thing. 2 Timothy 3:16 through 17, something this church has helped me do. Not sure what I'm doing after high school. I'm thinking about taking a gap year and either going into Bible college trades or college. Not sure what I'm doing, but I am sure the Lord will direct my steps. Psalms 37:23, the steps of man are established by the Lord, and he delights in his ways. Let's say some thank yous now. Thank you to Connor Canchel, such a friendly face since day one, welcoming me into the youth group. And mentor, thank you to Pastor Brian for teaching the word faithfully. It's been such a blessing to sit and grow underneath your teaching. Thank you to Edwin for being such a great mentor and being there for me when I went through one of my hardest seasons. And for planning all the fun youth events. Thank you to Tavis for being the sound guy and Lorenzo for being the fun camp counselor. Thank you to Jordan. It's been a lot of fun hearing you teach and all the fun games you've already came up with. You're going to be a great youth pastor someday. My parents always being there for me, for the great role models, and for raising me up in the Lord. I wouldn't be who I am without you. Thank you to all who have prayed for me. I truly wouldn't be where I am today without all of you. Some of my favorite memories from the youth group is a Branson trip where Brian was the barista when I stayed up all night at a sin camp over a stupid checkers game because of Gavin. I won that, by the way. Or sitting and making bracelets, singing hymns. The small moments always mean the most, and that's what I'll remember. And prayers, pray that God will give me discernment on a career path and contentment in whatever I do. Thank you.
Well, we almost made it on time. It's 7:31, but you know, last and certainly not least, though, Michaela Casson.